Welcome to Liverpool Report, your go-to for daily Liverpool FC news, transfers and match updates. If you're a true Red, hit subscribe and join the family. You'll never walk alone. Liverpool's Premier League title defence could face an early test, and it's all down to one name, Mohamed Salah. Fresh off a record-breaking season, the Egyptian king is set to miss up to 7 matches, including a blockbuster clash with Arsenal due to AFCON 25. Can Arneslot's Reds survive without their star man during such a critical stretch? Let's break down the impact, the fixtures he'll miss, and how Liverpool might cope without their Golden Boot winner. Mohamed Salah could miss 7 key games in Liverpool's Premier League 2025-26 season, including a huge date with title rivals Arsenal. Salah enjoyed a stunning campaign last year as the Reds stormed to the Premier League title. He again proved himself to be a key man for the Merseysiders, scoring 29 goals as he played in every single league game. That helped them to romp to the title, the first time they have topped the Premier League since 2020. Those goals helped to earn him a new 2-year deal to remain at Anfield, with his contract having been set to expire this summer. But the attacker will be staying to help Slot's side mount a defence of their title. His record also saw the 33-year-old claim the Premier League's Golden Boot award for the 4th year, as well as being named the division's Player of the Year for a 2nd time. The fixtures for the upcoming campaign were released on Wednesday. But they threw up an immediate problem for Liverpool, with Salah set to miss 7 games in total. It means Slot will have to create a plan to deal with the absence of his star man during a crucial period of the season. Salah's absence is due to his participation in the Africa Cup of Nations. The attacker is captain of Egypt, who have safely qualified for the tournament, which will be hosted by Morocco. Egypt's first game comes in a group stage clash against Zimbabwe on 22nd of December in Agadir. His country will likely have the right to have him in the squad for at least a week ahead of that game, unless Liverpool do a deal to keep him for longer. If no deal is done, then Salah will likely miss the Reds' trip to Tottenham, which will be held in the game week starting 20th of December. He will then definitely miss the clash against Wolves on 27th of December, with Egypt facing South Africa the day before on Boxing Day. The visit of Leeds will also see Liverpool having to do without Salah. That game is due to be played in the days from 30th of December, with Egypt taking on Angola on 20th of December. Obviously, Egypt's participation in the rest of the tournament will not be confirmed until after those 3 group games, but they are one of the favourites to win AFCON for the 8th time. They have not won the tournament since 2010, and if they make it through the group, they will face 4 knockout matches. The first of those will be held on either 3, 4 or 5th of January, depending on where they finish. That means that Salah will miss Liverpool's clash against Fulham, which is provisionally scheduled for 3 January. Even if Egypt are knocked out, the attacker faces a race against time to take on Arsenal on 7th January. He will certainly miss that trip to the Gunners if Egypt do make it through. In that scenario, their quarter-final will be held on either 9 or 10 January. The Premier League will then pause for the FA Cup 3rd round, another match Salah could miss. With the Reds next back in action, top flight when they host Burnley around 17th of January. But Salah will also miss that game if Egypt make it through to the final, which will be played in Rabat on 18th January. There is a Champions League group stage game on either January 20 or 21, which he could be back for. But all told, it's a tough run for the Reds, where they'll have to adapt to life without the Cop's Egyptian king. Sadio Mane has opened up once again about his dramatic transfer decision that changed Premier League history, turning down Manchester United for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool project. Now at Al Nassr, the Anfield icon has hinted at a surprising potential return to England. Could Newcastle be in the mix? Here's the full story behind the legend's latest revelations and what it could mean for his future. Sadio Mane once said never say never to the idea of joining Newcastle. The Liverpool legend, now playing for Al Nassr, also admitted previously that he agreed a contract with Manchester United but opted for their Merseyside rivals instead. Mane, now 33, became a legend at Anfield following his £34 million move from Southampton in 2016, scoring 120 goals and providing 46 assists during his 6-year stint. He played a crucial role in Jurgen Klopp's successful rebuild, helping the Reds win the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, UEFA Super Cup and Club World Cup. His departure to Bayern Munich for an initial 27 million in 2022 was undoubtedly a loss for the English top flight, but the door opened for his return less than 12 months later. The Senegalese icon's time in Germany was marred by an injury before the Qatar 2022 World Cup and a reported dressing room fight with teammate Leroy Sane. It was therefore unsurprising that he was shown the exit door at the end of the season. It was during that uncertain period that he met Martin Callanan, a Conservative life peer in the House of Lords who is originally from Newcastle. Callahan was attending an EITI international conference in Mane's native Senegal. He encouraged Mane to join the Magpies, saying in a later tweet, "I'm in Senegal speaking at the EITI conference, honoured to meet Sadio Mane in the hotel. I couldn't resist asking him about coming to Newcastle next season. His enigmatic reply, never say never." It's unclear whether Mane was merely being courteous or if Newcastle were serious contenders to secure his signature. But he didn't end up at St James Park. Instead, he joined Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr, where he's contributed to 62 goals in 93 matches. While many who have made similar moves to the Middle East have been accused of chasing money, that record suggests Mane is far from just going through the motions. And his response to Callahan implies a Premier League return may not be completely off the cards, unlike most who are spending the twilight years of their career on Saudi shores. However, considering his age and the fact that there's still a year left on his contract, the likelihood of a move to Tyneside can probably be categorised in the never bracket now. While he might still view the switch as desirable, it's hard to imagine the feeling being neutral, though he is being rumoured with an exit from Al Nassr this summer. Mane is no stranger to a sudden change in transfer plans. Before joining Liverpool, he was all set to head to Old Trafford until a phone call from Klopp turned his head. Mane recalled in an interview with The Telegraph, "I was really close to going to Manchester United. I had the contract there, I had it all agreed, it was all ready, but instead I thought, no, I want to go to Liverpool. I was convinced to go with Klopp's project. I still remember the first time I got the call from Klopp. He said, we have a big project at Liverpool and I want you to be part of it." Liverpool are on the verge of another major signing. The Reds are closing in on a £45 million deal for Bournemouth's left-back Milos Kerkez, with a move expected to be completed before the end of the week. After signing Jeremy Frimpong to cover the right side and agreeing a club record 116.5 M as deal for Florian Wirtz, Arneslot's rebuild is in full swing. The move for Kerkez comes amid growing uncertainty over the futures of both Andy Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas. So what will this mean for Liverpool's defence going forward, and how close is the deal really? Let's break it all down. Liverpool are closing in on a deal for Bournemouth left-back Milos Kerkez and could even complete the transfer this week, according to reports. Arneslot is continuing to strengthen his side as he looks to build on their Premier League triumph in his first season in charge, having already signed Jeremy Frimpong to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back. Liverpool have also agreed a record-breaking £116.5 million deal to sign Bayer Leverkusen playmaker Florian Wirtz, who is seen as someone the club can build their future around. But the Reds are also looking to bolster their numbers at left-back too, alongside the Wirtz deal, and have been working on a deal for Kerkez, who was one of the standout stars in his position in the 24-25 Premier League season. There have been some concerns over the long-term future of Andy Robertson, while Kostas Tsimikas has also been linked with an exit from Anfield. According to the iPaper, talks between Liverpool and Bournemouth are now at an advanced stage over a package worth between £40 and £45. It adds that while there are still a few issues to iron out, a deal is expected to be reached by the end of the week that will end months of speculation over Kerkez's future. Bournemouth chief Simon Francis has been engaged in talks with Liverpool Supremo Richard Hughes for the last few weeks, the report claims, with the Cherries refusing to budge on their valuation of the player. But after making progress in talks, the two sides are now discussing on how the fee for Kerkez will be structured. Personal terms are not expected to be an issue, with the player signing a 5-year deal. It would mark a huge week for Liverpool, who are also hoping to wrap up the signing of Wirtz after agreeing to pay a British club record fee for the midfielder after his sensational season in the Bundesliga. Wirtz will compete with the likes of Dominic Szoboszlai and Luis Diaz, while Kerkeze's arrival should provide competition for Robertson, though the Scottish international has admitted he is in the dark over his future at Liverpool. Speaking to Sky Sports this week, he said, "We have discussed my future. Of course we have. We've had good discussions, me and the club, but what the future holds, I'm not sure. All I know is I fly off on holiday and it's well needed. I need a rest after a long season, and then I look forward to pre-season."